G'day, it's Austin here. I've made over 25 mil in the past 4 years. I'm 24 years old. I initially came from Adelaide in South Australia. Now I live in Dubai and been traveling full time for the past few years. And I wanted to break down my 3 simple steps to get rich in your 20s. I'm gonna keep this very simple, very straightforward and very raw in this video and just talk about the exact 3 simple principles that allowed me to go from a non-university educated 18-year-old fresh out of high school to making all these millions online and having full freedom in life at such a young age. And so the first thing, let's jump straight in, is to pick a tested recipe. There are so many business models online, and not to say that some are bad and some are good. They're all different and have their own pros and cons. Personally, there's some business models I would never choose because they don't align with my values and what's important to me. But there are plenty of online business models out there. And throughout my journey, I went through multiple different business models. I started in the freelancer model, where I was selling my time for money and making videos for local businesses back in Adelaide. And then I transitioned that when COVID hit into an agency. And so I was starting to leverage other people's time to sell services to businesses. And for me, that was e-commerce brands. And that's what got me started in the world of e-commerce. And then the next business model that I tried was starting dropshipping stores and selling products that I didn't physically own online. And that's the one that gave me the most financial freedom. That one helped me generate over $13 million in revenue and millions in profit by selling products that I don't physically own or use myself through dropshipping. And so what I found is that you need to pick one tested recipe. There's many different business models. It's just to pick one, and we're gonna stick with that. So think about all the business models and look at the videos online that break down the different business models and why certain people like some and don't like others. I'm making a video on my channel on this very soon, where I'm gonna break down the 5 that I've tried and what I liked about them and what I didn't like about them. But the first way to get rich in your 20s, and the first thing that you absolutely must do, is pick a tested recipe. Now you'll see there that I didn't say just pick a recipe, pick a business model. No, you need to pick a tested one that actually has a track record of it working. So some of those that come to mind are building an agency, selling services, running an e-commerce store, a dropshipping store. It's proven. Crypto, it's proven, even though I have literally zero idea on how to make money from crypto. It's just not my wheelhouse. You could do affiliate marketing. You could do high ticket sales. There are so many different angles and proven recipes. When I say proven, there's countless people online. You search on YouTube, you're gonna find so many, maybe not just gurus, but people who are making money with these business models. And so that's the first part. We need to pick a tested recipe, one that has a proven track record of results and one that is producing results for other people. That's number 1. The second one is to follow a single professor. Pick one person to learn from. Now, there's been different people I've learned from along my journey, moving through these different business models and making all this money online. And there's different professors for different business models. And in my journey, I learned from Iman Gadzhi when I was starting an agency. That was my starting point. And so I learned early on this principle. And I said, I'm just gonna listen to what he says. And if he says to do something to grow an agency, I'm gonna listen to him and him only. And then what I found is that when I started getting worse results is when I started listening to other people or taking the advice of 2 people at the same time. And so for me, that was Iman and Sabri Suby. And so I was listening to 2 people and I wasn't able to just stick with one method and get the best results from that. Because every professor, every person online who's teaching you something has their unique flavor, their unique way of doing things. And yes, there is a degree where you can mix and match. You can take the marketing psychology from Sabri and then the systems focus from Iman and then the sales focus from someone else and then blend it all together into this beautiful hybrid. But what got me the best results was when I just learned everything from one person who is where I want to be. And that got me the best results. And so you need to pick and follow one professor. Learn from one person. Stick with them if they are in the position that you want to be in. Now, this doesn't mean you just choose the first person that you find online that's talking about this particular business model or topic, but you look for the person that you can best relate to. Maybe they share the same values as you do. Maybe they're from the same country that you're from. Maybe they've had similar life experience to what you've had and tried different business models. But you need to pick one, and we're going to stick with them. I'm going to follow exactly what they say. As an extension of following one professor is we're going to actively eliminate any other people that we're listening to. And so if you're following all of these people on Instagram or subscribe to all these different channels on drop shipping on your YouTube, let's unsubscribe to all of them. Let's just listen to that one professor. You can stay listening to their content, but disregard everyone else. Not to say that what they're saying is not valuable or could work for you. It's the fact that we just need one. We just need to pick a business model and then learn from one person who is where you want to be. That's the biggest superpower for me. As soon as I stopped listening to multiple mentors and just focused on listening to one for one particular business model, I saw my results greatly increase. So what does that mean? Go onto your Instagram and unfollow anyone else who is teaching you the same business model as what you've selected. Go on your YouTube, unsubscribe to all those channels that you've been watching that are giving you conflicting advice within the same business model. You're just going to pick one person and you're going to learn from them and you're going to follow their method exactly. You're just going to follow one professor. And it's like the saying, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. If there's too many people leading the way, then it becomes messy and it causes a lot of confusion. But if you just have one cook in the kitchen, one head chef, one person that you listen to, then they're going to guide you, hopefully, to where those results are. And that's the key part. As long as they have that proven track record of results and the way that they teach has led other people to get results, you're not listening to a newbie. You're listening to someone that's walked the walk, they know where you're at, and they've taught other people to get to where you want to go. That's step number 2, is follow one professor, one person. And the third one is don't stop. Now, I've taught over 25,000 people how to start their own e-commerce store over the past couple of years at my education company. And every Monday evening or morning, depending on what time zone I am in the world, I have a live call with them. And on this live call, it always comes up at least once a week where I reiterate this same phrase that I say inside of the video lessons. And it's always for people that are on the edge of giving up. And they say, do you have any words of encouragement for me? Or what are the successful students doing that I'm not doing? And I say to them, you've got 2 options at any point in your journey. You've got 2 options. You either throw in the towel, which guarantees that you fail. So you give up. You say, this is not for me. I'm going to stop. This doesn't work. You throw in the towel. There's only one outcome from that. And that outcome is that you fail and you lose. Or option number 2 is that you don't stop. So with e-commerce, if your first product doesn't work, then you launch a second. If your second doesn't work, you launch a third. You don't stop, because by committing to never stop, you guarantee success. Now, it's just dependent on the time frame now. Does your next product work and you start making sales and profit next week? Or does it take you a few more tries? But as long as you never stop, then you're going to guarantee that you're successful. And if I'm going to choose between those 2 options, guaranteeing success or guaranteeing failure, there's a very easy decision to make for anyone who is serious about being rich at a very young age. It's the fact that you just commit and you don't stop. And of course, it's not going to work the first time round. And I try and get this into people's heads, is that if it was so easy, then everyone would be rich. So that's why it makes the juice worth the squeeze, is the fact that it is rare and the fact that there are not many 20-year-olds or people in their 20s who are rich, who have complete financial freedom. It's rare. And that's what makes it desirable and makes it worthwhile and makes this pursuit of actually achieving that so valuable when you get to the end and you realize those goals. And so the third principle to guarantee that you get rich in your 20s is to don't stop. Don't give up. Keep going. And I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker here. It's just when you break it down logically, that is the way to guarantee that you achieve every single thing that you want in your life, is to never stop. So those are the 3 principles to get rich in your 20s. And I've followed these and it's worked for me. And so that's why I'm sharing it in this content. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I went dark on YouTube for ages, for years. And I said, I want to make content and I feel like I've got a message to share, but I haven't proven to the world that I can get the results yet. I just need some time. And so I stopped making content. I put my head down and I went out, made a lot of money online, and I'm still doing that and it's growing every month. But now I feel like I can come back and confidently share all of these principles and the things that I've learned and the tried and true ways to, I guess, reach all your goals, because I now have the backing of all of the results that I've achieved so far. So those are the 3 principles. Pick a tested recipe, follow one professor, and don't stop. And if you do those 3 things, as simple as they sound, and of course there's all the hard work and all the effort that goes in beyond these 3 principles, but if you follow those 3, then you will be rich in your 20s. I guarantee you will be, because it's worked for me, and I know if you stick with these and put in the work required, it will work for you too. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.